So Maraga, and I want to tell him, you just need to come up with a copyrightable manifesto. One or two things in your manifesto, one or two items should be politically copyrightable.
Hello, this is the Political Oracle, a segment of the Talk Chat podcast. My name is Pendo Setim.
And my name is Dr. Mike Ondonya. I'm here to analyze some issues with Pendo.
Yeah. Today we are talking about the former Chief Justice David Maraga's presidential manifesto, where he was talking about issues he's going to campaign on.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for the sake of giving Kenyans a breakdown, let me present this. Number one, he talked about restoring integrity and the rule of law. And David Maraga, in his communication, emphasized the fact that Kenya is at crossroads and it needs leadership rooted in accountability, ethical governance, and constitutionalism, which is actually an on-point manifesto that I think he is right in stating that. Number two, he talked about ending impunity and corruption. And in this point, he pledged to challenge the prevailing culture of impunity, culture of corruption, ethnic-driven politics, and which Maraga believes has derailed this country. A very good point also, and I think is something that is possible and Kenyans have been crying for. Number three, he talked about championing youth at Gen Z. Maraga positioned himself as the Gen Z candidate, of course, expressing solidarity with the young people and condemning the police brutality that the Gen Zs have faced, especially during their protests, the 2024 June 25th and also 2025 protests, which are happening currently. A good thing also, and I think he will have Gen Zs endorse him because in most cases, you don't go to the people, you let people come to you. The fourth one, he talked about rejecting ethnic politics and moneyed campaigns. He criticized Kenya's traditional political models or model urging voters to move away from ethnic balkanization and vote based on values and also competence, not tribe or wealth. A good point, but unfortunately in politics, they don't look at values and competence. Values and competence in politics are soft skills. When it comes to hard skills, there are other things, and I wish he will keep with us throughout as he also campaigns for 2027. Because we'll be telling him the hard truths about politics. Number five, campaigning without handouts. Maraga said he would not rely on personal wealth or political handouts. Instead, he proposes a public fundraising initiative to support his campaign. Very good and smart, it sounds good. But also, David Maraga should also know that money is all what he needs to be president, especially in Kenya. He should know those who have money rule over those who do not have money. So you cannot discount the power of money when it comes to seeking leadership. You need money to move around. Money is not needed to give handouts. Money will be needed for him to move around the country because he is not going to do a boardroom campaign. He will not just sit in hotels and have Kenyans vote for him. He will need to move every day, including Saturdays. I remember one time he said he cannot work on Saturday. This time around, Maraga, you must be prepared to go on campaign on a Saturday. Those are the days when Kenyans congregate to listen to their leaders. These are some of the hard truths that we will need to tell him. We love him. He's our candidate, and he should not discount the value of money.
Watu wanapenda pesa.
He will need money. Running presidential campaigns is damned expensive. Politicians give Kenyans money. So if he is able to navigate and beat that system, beat that culture, we wish him well. Number 6, calling for civil awakening. He urged Kenyans, especially the youth, to take charge of their future by actively engaging in the electoral process. And I think this is a good thing. This is one of the things I think he can champion for when it comes to young people registering to be voters. I think this is a good thing. It is possible. And if he calls for that, if he's going to do that, although this is not a manifesto, but it's something that is good and will ensure that the voting process is, and everyone participates in the voting process. Number 7, he talked about mentoring future leaders. He expressed a desire to mentor young people into leadership roles, signaling a long-term vision beyond just winning the presidency. A very good one. And I think one of the undoings of our politicians has been actually to mentor
The young
people. Is one of the most important things that young people have been crying, that the money is going to us there and the work is going to them. You get?
That is why we've been having protests.
Exactly. That is why we are having protests that a certain generation, especially the millennials and the Gen Zs, are feeling, okay, where is our part in this country? Are we going to be included in the governance and administration of our country? What or where are we going to take our potential? Because we have the potential, but no one is listening to us. We can see things going wrong. We are innovative, we are creative, but our minds are being wasted in the streets. Others are being killed and that kind of a thing. So mentoring future leaders is one of the best things he can ever promise us. Of course, that is just a summary of what he said. What I think he needs is to sit down and ask himself, out of what he has presented, is there something he has said that any other candidate cannot say?
What sets him apart from the rest?
Exactly. That is what I always tell presidential candidates. When you present a manifesto, is your manifesto copyrightable? Because anyone, even myself, I can set this as my manifesto and people will not say this is Maraga's manifesto. Actually, all these manifestos, Wajakoya had them.
They've been recycled.
But I want to tell the presidential candidate this, because I think what they lack is strategy. If you go around asking Kenyans in 2013, take the two parties which were going on the ballot, the two big coalitions. One was called, the other one was Jubilee. Just ask them, what is it that Jubilee were promising and CORD could not promise?
Okay.
What can people remember, Kenyans? And I'm speaking to Kenyans. Because if you remember in 2013, what you can remember are the laptops which Jubilee were promising to give our class 1 pupils. Remind me what you can remember that CORD were promising. None. And that is why they lost. Come to 2017, NASA and Jubilee Party. Remind me something unique that NASA were promising, apart from NASA how. Come to the side of Jubilee, you will hear Kenyans talking about the issue of the housing program. You will hear Kenyans talking about the issue of giving money to the aged. What were NASA promising? Kenyans cannot remember. That is why they lost. Come to 2022, UNDA and Azimio. What was UDA promising? What can people remember about 2022?
Bottom up.
They can remember bottom up. They can remember
the Hustler Fund.
The Hustler Fund. This they can remember the issue of hustler, the issue of whatever. Tell me one thing that Azimio were promising us.
Most people
something unique that you could say when they say this. Of course, there is no way Azimio could go to a campaign and say bottom up because it was politically copyrightable.
Okay.
To UDA. There is no way CORD in 2013 could start talking about laptops because it was politically copyrightable. But one problem that I have been having with Raila Odinga's candidature is because they promise people things which anyone can promise them, things which are tired. Corruption. We will fight corruption. Who cannot say that?
Everyone can say that.
We will make sure people follow the rule of law and follow constitution. Who can? Those are big words. So Maraga, and I want to tell him, and he needs a political advisor. You just need to come up with a copyrightable manifesto. One or two things in your item, in your manifesto, one or two items should be politically copyrightable. In fact, I can tell you, Wanjakoya had more copyrightable manifesto than Azimio. He was talking about banking. He was talking about snakes. He was talking about hyenas.
Yeah.
No one else could do that. So Wanjakoya had more copyrightable campaigns manifesto than Azimio. And unless he does that, what he has said is good. But what he has said is a tired, clashed manifesto. Yes, it looks good, but it is
tired.
It is tired. So a great campaign promise should be something people instinctively associate with him and not with another politician. And it should be fresh, original, and authentic. So much so that if another political or politician tried to borrow it, it would seem like an obvious imitation.
Okay.
Think of it as your political signature. Maraga should have a political signature. Where is his political signature that cannot be borrowed in his manifesto? Number two, it should be unique, or he should be unique as a leader. Beyond being original, the promise should spring naturally from his story, from his skills, from his experiences. For instance, when we talk about Ruto talking about bottom up, whether it was a lie
or not,
it was a signature.
The wheelbarrow. The
wheelbarrow, exactly. Now the wheelbarrows and that. Can we remember even the symbol for Azimio?
No.
It wasn't there. And that is why they lost. That is why the election was stolen. Because, yeah. So if you have no copyrightable signature, copyrightable political promise, David Maraga, we will steal your election. And not stealing in the strict sense. Exactly. Now, number three, if all what he has said is something that has been clashed, he should just forget about it. It's normal. Because, as I have said, anyone can pick that manifesto and present to Kenyans, and no one will say, hiyo ni ya Maraga. As long as there is no such contestation, there is no manifesto that David Maraga has presented. And that means he needed to sit down and restructure his manifesto.
Okay.
Yes.
We've come to the end of the Political Oracle. Until we meet next time. Bye-bye.